The cell was cold and silent. Shadows stretched across the stone walls as a single human sat chained. His breath was weak but steady. His hair had grown long and tangled, his body thin, but his eyes still carried a sharp light. A guard with grey-scaled skin walked past the bars, muttering to another, "Strange, isn't it? I thought humans were gone, yet this one still clings to life." The second guard, taller with heavy armor plates on his shoulders, laughed. "He is nothing, just a relic. His species is finished. Let him rot." The human lifted his head slowly. His lips were cracked, but his voice was clear. "You think I am the last," he whispered. "But you are wrong." The guards paused. A chill ran through the corridor. One of them stepped closer. "What do you mean, wrong? Your world was destroyed long ago. The galaxy saw it burn." The human smiled faintly. His chains rattled as he leaned forward. "Fire does not destroy everything sometimes. It spreads." The guard shifted uneasily. One spat on the ground. "Empty words. He is mad. Leave him." They walked away, but neither could shake the feeling that his words carried a hidden weight. Days passed, and the alien patrol ship that had found him argued over what to do. Some wanted to turn him over to the Galactic Council as proof that humans still lived. Others wanted to kill him quietly and erase the evidence. One officer slammed his hand on the table. "Do you not remember the wars?" he hissed. "Do you not remember how humans fought? If one survived, more could be hiding. We cannot risk it." Another officer shook his head. "Superstition. They were only strong in stories. This one is broken, weak, a shadow of what they were. But when they looked into the cell, they saw something that made their hearts tremble. The human was not weak. He was training. Using the weight of his chains, he pulled, lifted, strained. His muscles tightened, his body hardened. Every day he grew stronger. One night a young alien guard approached the bars. His large black eyes studied the human. "Why do you fight?" he asked softly. "You are alone. No one will come for you." The human stared back and spoke with calm certainty. "I fight because I'm not alone. Somewhere out there, my people are listening. They always return." The young guard shivered. He felt the truth in those words even though they sounded impossible. He tried to laugh, but the sound died in his throat. The patrol ship carried the prisoner to a distant outpost. There, alien officers gathered to see him. They circled like predators, asking questions. "Where are the others?" One demanded. "There are no others." Another insisted. "Tell us where you came from." The human only smiled. His silence was more frightening than words. One officer slammed his fist against the table. "You will answer." The human leaned forward, chains clinking. His voice was low but firm. "You do not want my answer. You will not like it." Tension filled the room. The aliens argued among themselves, but deep inside, they all felt the same thing, a creeping fear. It was the same fear their ancestors once felt when they first met humanity. A fear that humans could survive anything. That night, alarms blared. The outpost detected strange signals from deep space. Fleets disappearing, systems going silent. The officers rushed to their consoles, trying to make sense of it. "It must be pirates," one said. "No, too precise," another muttered. "Then what is it?" the commander demanded. The human in the cell heard the alarms and laughed quietly. The sound echoed down the halls, cold and unsettling. A guard rushed to his bars. "What do you know? Tell me." The human looked up with steady eyes. "I told you before, I'm not the last." "They are coming!" The guard staggered back as if struck. Moments later, the commander stormed into the cell, his face pale. "What are these signals?" "Ships vanishing, routes collapsing. Is it your people?" The human tilted his head. "You thought we died. You thought fire consumed us, but humans don't die easy. We wait, we endure, and when the time is right, we return." The commander grabbed his collar, shaking him. "Lies! You are bluffing!" The human only whispered, "Listen to the stars. They are already speaking." The alien released him. Stepping back, his hands trembled. He had faced many enemies, but this one man, chained and starving, filled him with more dread than an entire fleet. The young guard returned later. He whispered through the bars, "If they are coming, what will they do?" The human's answer was simple but heavy. They will come for me, then they will come for all of us. The guard frowned. All of you? You mean your species? The human's eyes burned with unshaken fire. Every last one. The silence that followed was suffocating. The alien realized that the galaxy was about to change forever. One man rescued, and soon an entire species would rise again. Whispers spread across the outpost like smoke in the wind. The humans' words would not leave the minds of those who heard them. Guards muttered to each other in low voices. Officers argued behind closed doors. And even the commander paced his chamber at night, replaying the man's promise in his head. One guard leaned against the metal wall and said nervously, "He cannot be telling the truth. If humans had survived, we would know." Another shook his head. "I do not know. I saw his eyes. He believes it. Maybe he knows something we do not." The commander gathered his officers in the control room. The wide screen showed blinking red marks, whole patrol fleets disappearing one after another. His voice was sharp. "This is no accident. Someone is moving in the dark. The question is who?" One officer tapped the table. "It could be the Vryn Raiders. They have been growing bold." "Fool," another snapped. "The Vryn are scavengers. They cannot erase entire fleets without leaving debris. These vanishings are clean, surgical." The commander's gaze drifted toward the screen, his jaw tight. "It is him. It is his kind." The room fell silent. Every officer thought the same, but none dared say it aloud. Later that night, a young guard carried water into the cell. The human drank slowly, eyes fixed on the guard. "You look afraid," he said quietly. The guard swallowed. "Ships are disappearing. Systems are falling dark. Tell me, is it your people?" The human set the cup down and leaned closer. "What do you think?" The guard's hands shook. I think the galaxy is in danger." The human's lips curved into a faint smile. "Not danger, balance. You all thought we were gone, but we were only waiting. Do you understand now?" The guard whispered, "If this is true, what will they do?" The human's voice grew steady. "First, they will find me. Then they will find the rest, and after that, the galaxy will remember why it feared us." The guard stepped back, heart pounding. He wanted to deny it, but the certainty in the man's voice felt like a heavy weight on his chest. The next day, the council received a transmission from the outpost. Alien leaders filled the chamber, their voices rising in laughter. One human survivor. "A ghost, a joke," the ambassador from a reptilian world scoffed. "We destroyed them. I watched their cities burn." This survivor is nothing but a remnant. But a smaller voice, old and shaky, rose from the corner. An elder with pale skin and trembling hands whispered, "Do not mock. I fought them once. I saw what they were. If even one survived, then more can come. Do not laugh. Fear them." The chamber erupted in argument. Some demanded the human be executed. Others said he should be studied. A few demanded silence, afraid even to speak of him. Back on the outpost, tension grew. Alarms rang again as another fleet vanished in the outer rim. Officers rushed to the command deck, screens flashing warnings. "Another sector dark," one shouted. "No wreckage, no distress calls," another said. The commander gripped the edge of the console, his eyes cold. "It is them. It has to be, in the cell." The human sat cross-legged, calm. His chains clinked softly as he whispered to himself. His voice was low, but the words carried through the silence. "Not much longer," the young guard returned. He whispered urgently, "They say you bring death. They say your people are destroying fleets. Is it true?" The human opened his eyes. "Death?" He shook his head slowly. "No, we are bringing home what was lost. But those who stand in the way will fall. That is the truth." The guard stared at him. Torn between fear and respect, "Why do you tell me this?" "Because," the human replied, "when the time comes, you must choose. Will you stand with the dying, or will you stand aside?" The guard had no answer. He turned and walked away quickly, but his heart raced with every step later. The commander entered the cell himself. His eyes burned with anger and fear. "You sit here chained, and yet fleets vanish across the stars. How? Tell me how your people do this." The human met his gaze, unflinching. "Do you not understand? It is not about me, it is about them. You cannot stop what is already moving." The commander slammed his fist into the bars. "Where are they? Where are your people hiding?" The human leaned forward, whispering, "Everywhere you did not look, every shadow you ignored, every ruin you thought was silent, that is where we waited." The commander's face twisted. He turned and stormed out, but his steps were heavy. His mind replayed the words again and again. Days later, the outpost received a signal. It was faint but clear, a human voice speaking across the void. "We are here." The command deck froze. No one moved, no one breathed. The signal repeated, calm and steady. "We're here!" The commander's face turned pale. He whispered, "It cannot be in the cell." The human lifted his head and smiled for the first time. His voice carried strong through the silence. "I told you." The young guard ran in, a panic in his eyes. "They have found you, haven't they?" The human's chains rattled as he rose slowly to his feet. Standing taller than he had in years, his eyes shone with fire. "Yes, and soon the galaxy will learn. Humanity does not fade. Humanity returns." The guard backed away, trembling. The air felt heavy, as if the walls themselves knew the truth. That night, the stars over the outpost lit with strange movements. Silent shadows drifted just beyond the sensors, shapes too large to be simple raiders. Too fast, too quiet, the whispers became screams of fear. And in the heart of the chaos, the human laughed softly, not in madness, but in triumph. His words echoed like a warning to the galaxy itself. One was rescued, but the rest are already here. The outpost grew restless. Every shadow seemed alive. Every sound in the corridors made soldiers jump. Rumors spread faster than orders. They whispered that human fleets were already moving. Hidden in the dark between stars, the commander stood before his officers, his face pale under the cold light of the screens. Dozens of red warnings blinked. Lost fleets, silent systems, unexplained vanishings. "This is no accident," he said firmly. "We are being watched." One officer clenched his fists. "If it is the humans, how can they move without detection? No engines, no trails. It is impossible," another whispered. "Nothing is impossible with them. We should have destroyed this survivor the moment we found him." The commander's jaw tightened. "No, he is our only key. He knows what is happening. Until we understand, he lives in the cell." The human sat quietly. His chains stretched across the floor. He no longer looked weak. He carried himself with a strange calm, as if he was waiting for a signal only he could hear. The young guard returned, his eyes wide with unease. "More fleets gone," he whispered. 3 in one day, no wreckage, no escape pods. Just silence. The human lifted his head. "And still you doubt?" The guard's voice cracked. "Why are they doing this?" "Why now?" The human's eyes glowed in the dim light. "Because I was found. My rescue was the spark. Now the fire spreads." The guard swallowed hard. "If they are here, will they attack us?" The human leaned closer, his voice steady. "They will take what is theirs. They will take back their people. And if you stand in their way, they will not stop." The guard stepped back, trembling. He wanted to argue, but deep inside he knew the man was not lying. That same night, the outpost picked up another signal. This time it was not a simple message. It was coordinates. The officers crowded around the screen, voices rising. "What is this? A trap? It could be pirates trying to lure us out, or..." The commander's voice was grim. "It is them." The coordinates pointed to a sector long abandoned, a dead world left in ruins after an old war. No one had traveled there in decades, but now the signal repeated again and again, calling like a heartbeat. The commander ordered a scouting patrol. 5 ships departed under the cover of silence. The outpost waited, tense. Hours passed, but no reply came. Finally, one broken transmission cut through the static. A voice filled with fear. "They are here." Then nothing. Panic spread. The officers argued louder. Some demanded retreat, others begged for reinforcements. The commander slammed his hand on the console. "Silence. We hold our ground until the council decides." But the council was already falling apart. Across the galaxy, leaders shouted at one another. Some refused to believe the reports, insisting it was all tricks. Others trembled with old memories of human wars. They argued whether to hide, fight, or beg for peace on the outpost. The commander returned to the cell. His eyes burned with anger, but beneath it was fear. "What did you tell them?" he demanded. "What message did you send?" The human lifted his head slowly. "I told them nothing. They were already coming. Your mistake was finding me." The commander grabbed the bars, shaking them. "Why us? Why here?" The human's voice was quiet but sharp. "Because you showed the galaxy that one of us still breathes. That is enough. We do not leave our own behind." The commander's grip loosened. His heart pounded. He had seen armies, fought rebels, crushed pirates. But this man's calm voice filled him with a terror he could not name. The young guard approached after the commander left. His voice was low. "If your people come, will they kill us all?" The human studied him for a long moment. "That depends on you," the guard frowned. "On me? On what you choose," the human said. "Stand in their way and you fall. Step aside and you live. Help us, and you may see tomorrow." The guard's chest tightened. He never thought he would pity a prisoner, let alone believe him. But every word struck him like truth. Hours later, the outpost trembled. The sensors lit with massive readings, shadows moving just beyond the edge of detection. Too large to be natural, too many to be random. "Contacts!" An officer shouted. "Unknown ships closing fast. Identify them." The commander roared, but the sensors only showed shifting shapes. Silent and precise then, a voice cut through the static. Calm and unmistakable, a human voice. "We are here for our own." The command deck froze. No one spoke. Every officer felt their blood run cold. The commander whispered, "It's them!" The human in the cell smiled as the alarm screamed through the outpost. He whispered softly to himself, "It begins." The young guard rushed to the bars, panic in his eyes. "They are here, aren't they? They've come for you." The human's eyes shone with fire. "For me and for all, this is not rescue. This is return." Outside the station, the stars seemed to shift as enormous shadows pulled closer. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy realized its mistake. Humanity was not gone. Humanity had only been waiting. And now they had come back, not for one, but for everyone. The alarms of the outpost screamed as unknown ships surrounded the system. Officers ran across the control deck, shouting orders, screens flashing with red warnings. The commander stood stiff, his hands shaking as he watched the readings. Shadows filled the edges of the scanners. "Too many, too close," one officer cried. "There are dozens, maybe more. They are not answering our hails," another shouted. "Their weapons are not active, but they are everywhere. What do we do?" The commander's voice cracked but stayed firm. "Hold positions. Do not fire until I give the order." In the cell, the human heard the alarms and smiled faintly. His chains rattled as he stood, stretching as if he had been waiting for this very moment. The young guard rushed in, his voice filled with fear. "It is them, isn't it? Your people, they are outside." The human's eyes burned with certainty. "Yes, and they will not leave without me." The guard hesitated, looking around nervously. "If they attack, this outpost will be destroyed. Everyone will die." The human stepped closer to the bars, his voice calm. "Then help me, and you live. Stand in their way, and you fall." The guard swallowed hard. His heart pounded as he looked into the man's unbroken stare. "Why should I trust you?" The human's reply was quiet but powerful. "Because we never forget those who choose to help." Meanwhile, the command deck erupted as a massive shadow appeared at the center of the fleet. A single warship moved forward, unlike anything the aliens had seen in centuries. Its hull was scarred, patched, but alive with power. Its presence filled the scanners with energy readings far beyond normal. One officer gasped, "That is human design, but larger than any record. How is this possible?" The commander's hands tightened on the console. His voice trembled. "It is possible because they never died." The alien fleet station nearby scrambled. Hundreds of ships moved into formation, their weapons charging. The tension grew heavy as both sides waited for the first shot. Then the human warship broadcast a message. The voice was clear, steady, and filled with authority. "We are here for our own. Release them." Silence gripped the command deck. Every officer looked at the commander. His throat felt dry. "They are demanding the prisoner," he muttered. One officer snapped, "We cannot give him up. He is proof. The council needs him." Another shouted, "If we refuse, they will destroy us." The commander's eyes darted between the screens. He knew the truth. They were surrounded. Hopelessly outmatched, he ordered a channel opened, his voice firm but uneasy. "This is Commander Vale of Outpost 9. We acknowledge your demand. But the prisoner is under council authority. You cannot—" Before he finished, the human warship fired a single shot, not at the outpost, not at the fleet, but at an empty asteroid nearby. The rock shattered into dust with one blast. The silence that followed was louder than the alarms. The warship broadcast again. "We do not ask twice." The commander staggered back. His officers stared in horror at the destroyed asteroid. No one spoke. Everyone knew what it meant. In the cell, the human closed his eyes as if listening. He whispered softly, "They are close." "So close." The young guard looked at him, trembling. "What will they do if he refuses?" The human opened his eyes slowly. "Then this place will be dust." The commander rushed back into the cell, his voice filled with rage and fear. "What are they? How did your people survive? Tell me now." The human tilted his head. "You burned our cities, but you did not burn our will. You hunted us, but we hid in places you feared. You thought we were gone, but we were waiting, and now we are here." The commander's voice cracked. "If I give you to them, they will leave." The human's eyes locked on his. "We came for our people. That is the only reason we are here." The commander turned to the guard. "Unchain him." The guard froze. "Sir?" I said, "Unchain him." The commander barked. The young guard hesitated, his hands trembling as he unlocked the cell. The chains clattered to the floor. The human stood tall, his body lean but powerful. His eyes burned with fire as he stepped out of the shadows of the cell. The alarms roared again. The scanners showed more ships arriving, dozens upon dozens. The fleet of humanity was no longer hiding. They surrounded the system like a storm. The human walked past the guard, his steps slow but heavy with meaning. The commander followed, his voice low. "If you betray us, if they attack—" The human stopped and turned, his voice steady. "If they wanted war, you would already be dead. We do not waste words. We came for our own. And then we will leave," the guard whispered. "But will the galaxy let you leave?" The human's smile was cold. "The galaxy has no choice." Moments later, the airlock opened, and the human stepped forward into the docking bay. The shadows of his people's warship loomed beyond the glass. Its engines glowed with raw power. Its hull covered the stars. A voice echoed from the ship. "Welcome home." The human's eyes filled with fire, he whispered. "We never left." And as the docking clamps released, the galaxy realized something terrifying. Humanity had returned. And they were not here to ask. They were here to take back everything. The docking bay trembled as the massive human warship locked into place. Every alien on the outpost froze, watching in silent fear as the long-forgotten enemy returned before their eyes. The humans had come, and nothing would stop them. The commander stood near the bay doors, sweat dripping down his brow. He turned to his officers, whispering, "Hold your fire if they wanted war. We would already be destroyed." The human prisoner, now free of his chains, walked calmly forward. His bare feet echoed against the metal floor. Behind the glass, the young guard watched him with wide eyes, torn between fear and something else, a strange respect. The bay doors opened with a hiss. A boarding bridge extended, and from the human warship, figures stepped through the mist. Their shapes were hard to see, but their presence was heavy. Each step carried strength, discipline, and silence. The first human soldier appeared, armored in black plates, scars etched into the steel. His eyes locked onto the freed prisoner. The soldier lifted his helmet, his voice deep and steady. "We found you." The prisoner's eyes burned. "I told them you would come." The alien officers flinched at the sound of their voices. They were calm, but too calm. It was the kind of calm that belonged to predators. The commander raised his hand nervously. "This station is under council law. I cannot simply hand him over without—" The armored human cut him off with a single glance. His voice was sharp as a blade. "You do not decide. He is ours." The prisoner stepped forward and placed a hand on the soldier's shoulder. "Enough. They were only the unlucky ones who found me. Do not waste blood." The soldier studied him for a moment before nodding. He turned to the commander. "We will leave with him. Do not follow." The commander's mouth went dry. His mind screamed to resist, but the sight of the warship outside, surrounded by dozens more, killed the thought before it formed. He swallowed hard and nodded. "Take him." The young guard stepped forward suddenly. His voice cracked but loud enough to be heard. "Wait." Everyone turned to him. His hands shook, but he kept speaking. "What happens next?" "You will not stop here, will you?" The prisoner looked back at him. His expression softened for the first time. "No, this is only the beginning. We will find the rest of our people, and when we do, the galaxy will remember us." The guard's throat tightened. He whispered, "And if the galaxy resists?" The prisoner's eyes hardened. "Then it will fall." The soldiers surrounded him. Leading him toward the warship, the outpost shook as the massive vessel pulled away. Its engines glowed like suns, blinding the view. Then silence returned, heavy and suffocating, on the command deck. Officers argued in panic. "We must warn the council. They will not believe us. They have to. They will have no choice." The commander slammed his hand on the console. "Send the report. Tell them humanity has returned, far away." In the chambers of the Galactic Council, leaders shouted over one another. The message from the outpost played again and again. Humans alive, humans strong, humans coming back. One alien ambassador slammed his claws against the table. "We must gather fleets, crush them before they spread." Another shook his head. "Fleets vanish already, do you not see? They are too strong, we cannot fight. The elder from before," his pale hands trembling, whispered, "You fools. You laughed when I warned you. Now the fire has returned, and it will consume us all if we do not bend." The chamber dissolved into chaos. Some demanded peace, some demanded war, but no one could deny the truth anymore. Humanity was back meanwhile, aboard the warship. The rescued prisoner stood on the bridge. His chains gone, his eyes fierce. The commander of the ship, a tall woman with silver streaks in her hair, studied him. "You survived alone. Tell us, what did they do?" The man's voice was low but steady. "They tried to break me. They failed. But it does not matter now. What matters is the others. Hundreds, maybe thousands, hidden across this galaxy. We take them back." "All of them," the woman nodded, her voice firm. "Then we will." The stars stretched outside the viewport as more human ships emerged from the void. Sleek destroyers, heavy cruisers, carriers, ships that should not exist. Yet here they were. Each ship carried survivors, remnants of colonies the galaxy thought dead. The man closed his eyes, breathing deeply. "We are not remnants anymore. We are whole again." The crew around him erupted in cheers, fists pounding against the metal rails. Their voices echoed through the warship like thunder, but far beyond their celebration, in the hidden channels of the galaxy, fear spread faster than fire. Every species whispered the same question. How many humans had survived? How long had they been hiding? And if they were truly united now, could anyone stop them? Back at the outpost, the young guard stood alone by the viewing glass, staring into the stars where the human fleet had disappeared. His commander barked orders behind him, officers rushing to prepare for what was coming. But the guard's thoughts were far away. He whispered to himself, "If they rise, no one can stop them." And deep in the void, the human fleet gathered, engines burning, signals pulsing through the dark. A single voice carried across the channels, a message to every survivor still waiting in silence. "We are coming. Hold on. Humanity is not finished." The galaxy trembled as the human fleet revealed itself. Across star systems, sensors picked up signals that no one believed could exist. Dozens of warships, carriers, and cruisers moved in silence, united, unstoppable. Every corner of the galaxy whispered the same words. Humanity has returned on the bridge of the lead warship. The rescued man stood tall beside the commander, his voice steady. "We are no longer scattered. We are one again." The commander nodded, her gaze fixed on the stars. But they will not welcome us. They will resist. The council will send fleets. The man's eyes burned with calm fire. Then let them. We do not come to conquer. We come to gather our own. But if they stand in the way, they will fall, far away. The council chamber echoed with fear and anger. Leaders shouted over one another. Some demanded peace talks. Others demanded total war. An ambassador with scaled skin slammed the table. We must strike now. If we hesitate, they will spread like fire. But the elder rose again, his voice shaking but sharp. Strike. Against them? You fools, do you not see? They survived what should have ended them. They endured when no one else could. If you fight them now, you will not win. You will only burn. The chamber filled with uneasy silence. No one wanted to admit the truth, but every heart carried the same fear. Humanity had become something greater in the shadows. Back aboard the warship, a signal came through, faint, broken, but clear enough to hear. This is Haven Colony. Survivors requesting extraction, please. We are still here. The crew froze. The commander looked at the rescued man. Haven, one of the first colonies lost, the man's fists clenched. They are alive. The fleet turned, engines roaring, cutting across the void toward the hidden world. Hours later, they arrived at a shattered planet. Cities burned long ago, skies heavy with ash. But beneath the ruins, bunkers opened, and thousands of humans stepped into the light, faces scarred but unbroken. A young survivor cried out as she saw the warships, her voice trembling. We thought you forgot us. The rescued man stepped onto the ground, his voice carrying strong, we never forget. Humanity always comes back. Tears fell, cheers rose. The colony embraced their returning people. The sound of hope echoed across the ruined world. But the joy did not last long. On the horizon, council fleets appeared. Hundreds of alien warships forming a wall of steel. Their weapons glowed bright. The commander of the human fleet raised her eyes. They came faster than expected. The rescued man stepped forward, his voice calm. They came because they are afraid. But fear does not stop us. A channel opened. The alien commander of the council fleet appeared on the screen. His voice sharp. You will surrender the survivors and retreat. Humanity has no claim here. The human commander stood tall, her voice steady as stone. We do not surrender our people, not one. Not ever, the alien sneered. If you resist, you will be destroyed. Before anyone could answer, the rescued man stepped closer to the screen. His eyes burned with fire, his words cut through the silence. You destroyed our worlds once. You hunted us like prey. You thought we were gone. But here we stand, stronger than ever. You will not stop us now. Humanity does not die. This alien commander's face twisted. Then you leave us no choice. Weapons charged across the battlefield. The sky burned with light. The galaxy held its breath. But before the first shot could be fired, the human fleet moved. Silent precision, impossible speed. Their ships slipped through enemy lines as if they had rehearsed this moment for centuries. Engines flared, weapons pulsed, but the humans did not strike first. Instead, they shielded the survivors. Covering every escape, alien fleets fired, beams of energy tearing across the sky. But human ships danced through the fire, shields glowing, engines roaring. Their counterstrikes were precise, disabling weapons, breaking formations, showing strength without waste. The alien commander shouted, "Impossible! They should not have this power." On the ground, survivors watched as the sky became a storm of fire and light. Children clung to their parents, whispering, "They came back. They came back for us." The rescued man stood at the edge of the bunker, his voice steady. "Do you see now? We are not weak, we are not gone. We are the storm you feared. Within hours, the battle ended, alien ships disabled. Forced to retreat, the human fleet stood unbroken, their formation sharp, their presence undeniable. The rescued man looked to the stars, his voice calm. "This is only the beginning. We will find them all, every colony, every survivor. Humanity rises together," the commander nodded, her voice fierce. "And when the galaxy looks at us, and they will no longer see prey. They will see the ones who endured." The message spread across the stars. carried by whispers, shouts, and secret transmissions. Humanity was not extinct. Humanity had returned, not as scattered survivors, but as a united force. Stronger than ever, on the council worlds, fear turned to silence. The species who once mocked humans now looked to the stars with dread. They realized a simple truth. No chain could hold them. No fire could burn them out. The young guard at the outpost, who had once looked into the humans' eyes, remembered the words, "One rescued." "And then all," he whispered to himself. "He was right, they came for one, and now they come for everyone." And across the galaxy, as more human fleets revealed themselves, as more survivors were freed from hidden prisons and broken colonies, one truth spread like fire. Humanity does not vanish. Humanity does not surrender. Humanity always returns.